want to talk to you about fact and opinion in nonfiction texts. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's nonfiction. It's always fact. It's always true. But that's not necessarily the case. Every text is written by an author, so no matter if it's fiction, nonfiction, poetry, advertisements, anything, we have to be thinking to ourselves that this text isn't neutral, that someone wrote it, and someone has a message for us. So it's really important when we're reading nonfiction to also think about opinions. When I was reading my text, I was thinking that it's really important for me to think about the facts and opinions because I want to recognize the author's opinions and biases, but I also want to develop my own opinions about the text. So let me tell you my process, and then I'll show you how I did that in the article that I was reading. So I read my article, and then I thought about the facts. What's true for anyone, everyone, anytime anyone reads this? Those are facts. Then I had to look for opinions. I had to look for opinion words. And in my text, I found adjectives were really helpful to recognize opinions. Then I said to myself, I think the author believes blank because blank. I used that sentence frame to think about the author's ideas. Then I thought about my own opinions about the text, and I came up with another sentence frame. I think blank because blank. I might agree with the author. I might disagree with the author. Okay? So let me show you how I did this. So the article that I'm reading is in Scope magazine, and can you see it? It says, please don't pet the sharks. So I read through my article, and then I thought, what are the facts? Well, the facts are that people do get very close to animals. The person in here gets close enough to pet sharks. There are also people who take pictures with sloths or elephants, things like that. And we also know that people kill sharks for food, for leather, for things like that. Those are facts. Then I had to look for opinion words. Now, sometimes the author's opinion is really subtle, like we have to be a detective to figure it out, and sometimes it's really strong, and in this article it's really strong. So I actually looked for some adjectives. The author used the word fearsome, like fearsome creature, where, I don't know, some people might say it's not very scary to be around these animals. Then words like urgently and passionate and horror, all of these were saying that the author feels very strongly about his opinions. So the facts, I looked at the opinions. The opinion is that this author doesn't think that people should be around animals, okay? Not in a way that might harm them. So I used this sentence frame, and what I said was, I think the author believes that sharks should be protected and other animals, but that human interactions cause stress on the animal and can be dangerous. That's what the author believes. Now, then I had to say, well, what do I think about this topic? And when I was thinking about, I've been to other countries and I've been close to animals, I've ridden on an elephant, things like that. And I had to think to myself, well, what do I believe? And I believe something really similar to the author. I believe that these animals should be protected. I don't think that people should be killing sharks for food. I don't think that people should pull animals out of their homes or wildlife just to get pictures of them. And I believe this because it could harm animals. So my opinion is really similar to the author's. Now, one of the things that you can do is to use your reader's notebook, and you can document some of this. So you could be reading a nonfiction text and write down the facts. Then you can find the author's opinions. They may be real subtle or they may be really strong, and you can write those down. And then you can write down what you think about this topic. And then you can always share it with somebody and see if your opinions are the same. Okay? So readers, you have to be very, very careful, like a detective, when you're reading that nonfiction text, because they're not always all facts in there. There's a lot of opinions because an author has written them. Okay, see you next time.